Hi everyone, my name is Daniel Jr. and Mendiola, and today I will be discussing the domestic and foreign economic policy. So, what is domestic economic policy? So, domestic economic policy is the internal. It refers to government actions that handle money issue within one country's borders. And foreign economic policy is the external. It refers to government actions that handle a country's money relations with other nations, like trade and investments. So, um, domestic economic policy and foreign policy are deeply interconnected and mutually influential rather than separate. They work in tandem, meaning decisions made for internal issue can have significant external effects, and global events often necessitate changes in domestic strategies. Now, let's proceed to 7 government policies that has direct effect to a country's relationship with global economy, according to Henry Now 2008. So, first is the macroeconomics. So, what comes to your mind when you say macroeconomics? So, macroeconomics is the study economy as a whole. So macroeconomics has two main parts. The first one is the monetary policy. This is when a country's central bank manage things like price stability, keeping inflation low, and making sure many people have jobs. And the second one is the fiscal policy. This is about how the government uses its money through taxes and spending to balance its budget and affect the economy. The next one is microeconomic policies. These are the government action focused on specific parts of the economy like single market or industries. Their main goals are to fix market problems, make the economy more efficient, and improve the well-being of individuals and business. Like for example, a government giving subsidies to farmers to encourage more food production is a microeconomic policy. Another example is using taxes on items like cigarettes to discourage people from buying them. The third one is governance policy. Governance policy refers to the rules and practices that guides how organizations and governments make decisions and manage resources. Effective policies in this area ensures honesty, openness, and fairness. Like for example, a company having a clear set of ethical guidelines for its employees is a form of governance policy. Governments putting in a place anti-corruption commission or making budget details public are also examples. And after the governance policy is exchange rate policies. These are the government plans to manage the value of their country's money compared to other countries' money. These policies affect trade prices and money flow. For example, a central bank might sell its foreign money reserves to buy its own currency in the market, which make its currency stronger. Another approach is a peg or fixed exchange rate where a country ties its currency value to another nation's currency, such as Danish krone being pegged to the euro. Exchange rate policy has three types. So this section describes how a country sets the value of its money or currency against other countries. So the first one is fixed exchange rate, meaning the government makes the value of its money to stay the same by linking or pegging it to another currency such as the US dollars. The next one is floating exchange rate. The value of the money is decided by how many people want to buy or sell it in the open market or supply and demand. And the third one is manage or dirty float. This is a mix of both. The government tries to change the money value when needed. A managed float is when the government action open and known, while a dirty float means they act in secret. The next one is trade policies. This refers to the rules or a government uses to manage buying and selling with other countries. These rules influence things like what a country brings in or imports, what it sends or exports, extra taxes on imported goods, and how it deals with other countries on money matters. Let's proceed to the types of trade policy. The first one is free trade policy. This means a country has very few rules or taxes on things coming in or going out, making a wide open market for business. The second one is protectionist trade policy. It involves putting limits on imports to help businesses within the country compete against goods from other countries. The third one is export promotion policy. This is when a government helps its local businesses sell more goods to other countries, often by giving them money or taxes or tax breaks. And the last one is import substitution policy. This is a plan to make a country rely less on items made on other places by encouraging its own people to make those things instead. Trade policies have effect on three key areas: economic growth, consumer price, and global relation. So in economic growth, free trade helps a country economy by making businesses more effective and letting them sell goods in many markets. In consumer price, trade barriers like taxes on imports usually make goods more expensive for people to buy. For instance, a tax on imported cars makes all cars cost more. Free trade usually lower prices for people because businesses have to compete more, forcing them to be efficient and innovative. And in global relation, trade policy affect how countries to get along with each other. Trade arguments can lead to other countries fighting back with their own trade limits, which hurts everyone's economy. A trade war between the US and China is one of the example where both countries impose taxes on each other goods. And now, let's proceed to the foreign capital investment policy. This refers to a country rules for attracting and managing money that comes from other countries. This policy decided how outside businesses, governments, and people can put money into local real estate or financial markets. Countries often try to attract this money with tax breaks to create jobs and grow their economy. For example, a foreign car company building a new factory in Vietnam or other country is an investment that brings jobs and tax money. Types of foreign investment. So this is when people or companies from other countries put money into different country. So there are three types: foreign direct investment or FDI. A foreign company builds something new or buys a large part of an existing company. And the second one is FPI, foreign portfolio investment. Foreign investors buy small pieces of a company or government debt but do not get any power to run the business. And the last one is foreign institutional investment or FII. This is the same as FPI, but the money comes from large groups like banks or pension funds, not individual people. And the last is migration policies. So these are the laws and rules of a government makes to control how people move from one country to another. These rules are important because they decide how many people are available work in the country's job market. Migration is simply the movement of people from one place to another place. Types of immigration. First one is immigration policies. These are rules that control how people from other countries can come in, live, and become citizen of a new country. Like for example, a country laws that says you need a special paper called a visa to work there. And the second one is immigration policies. These are rules about the process of a person leaving their home country to go live somewhere else. Like for example, a country that requires its citizen to get an exit permit before they are allowed to permanent move away. And that would be all. Thank you.